Please join me on a little bit of a tour around the new facility here of Pöttinger. Hi everybody. So we couldn't call a trip to Austria complete without calling in to see our friends at Pöttinger, or really should say Pöttinger. Some of you will remember the last time we were here, we looked at the baler factory and where they were making the rakes. That was maybe around 2018, 2019. They have now this facility and it's just literally a few miles up the road, and it's called St. Georgen, or something along those lines. I'm trying very, very hard to get that right. It's just different level, and I think people that have been to the factory in the past at HQ, just a few miles down the road, will understand. I'm not sure how many tours have been in and around this hall. So this first hall we step into, just look at the vast size, scale, and this is basically currently 2 production lines. So we have the balers, the impress balers, and we have the rakes and the Magento, the merger. So that's phase 1 at this ground. I think if we look outside, I think the ground that has been bought is it all out there. So there's a vast potential to expand. See if we can get the lights back on. So I got my little technical issue solved there. The workers all left, and as soon as they basically all left, the lights went out automatically, and it was just like, whoa, because it's that time in the evening where it's starting to dull down a little bit. But this facility here is purely for assembly only, and that's future-proofing the business for Pöttinger. So I've literally walked down to the far side of this 6,300 square meter production hall. So if we start over at this side, just as the guys have went home for the evening, we have a couple of mergers coming through. That's the end of the line of them, and then they're moving on to rakes. I see if they have a few orders of 1403s to get through, I'm assuming they come through first, because I think we've 2 or 3 coming here in a row. Very interesting concept, the merger. Most guys get the concept of a merger. Most guys love the concept of a merger. Most dairymen would probably prefer it merged if possible to reduce ash content, etc. But mergers aren't just at the game when it comes to what your 4-rotor rakes can do in terms of productivity. So of course, still a massive market for both. Pöttinger's 4-rotor rake, I think it's a very fair comment to say, has to be one of the best rowing rakes out there. The way it operates, the hydraulic in the front drive, right down to how it steers, and of course in the back ones. And we had the 1250 at a time, and we 100% thought it was up there at that stage. It was one of the best that we had seen. Manoeuvrability was a little bit of an issue, and I get it, Ireland can be reasonably tricky, some of the small lanes, but look, so can most countries. In this facility as well, they have a 6,000 square meter new paint line, and it is mega. The technology and effort and money that is invested into creating these. We took a look through the paint facility earlier, and like, I literally be struggling to remember all the processes to get in. Pöttinger are well known, and we have seen this in the past. They work very much with a dipping process from a primer to powder coat, and they also do work for other companies. That outside work for like Palfinger, etc., and the cranes, is now moved to this facility because there is room about this facility. So as you can see, the scale of this here, and the roof's a green roof, as they talk about. They have bee colonies. They've really put the effort in to try and get it. They harvest the heat, and they do lots and bits and pieces of things. And look, that's where we're at in today's world. These factories have to show that they're doing their best to be as, you know, green as physically possible, of course. But here we have the baler line. When we first arrived here a few years ago and looked at the baler line, there was literally just a few balers coming down the line. But like, as we can see here, it's a lot busier. Like, this is very, very, very clean, very tidy. Nothing is actually manufactured in this particular, this is assembly only. So this is really and truly the first part of the baler. The subframe, the rotor comes together here, then it keeps moving down, and we'll walk down through it. Rollers added in, then we go to the pickup reel, added in. Then the decision is made, is it a belt baler, is it a fixed chamber baler? Here's a fixed chamber baler. Pöttinger only produce a handful of fixed chamber balers in comparison to their VC balers, which we have had on demo. So Paul had the VC, so that's the variable chamber and combi, out with us, and was proven just how good that your modern belt baler system can be in grass, and in particular in the wet Irish conditions. So we were actually blown away by that. We had the smaller fixed chamber baler as well, a little bit previous to that we had on our 3650. So you can see the last stage is where the pickup reel goes on. This is where we get added in. So of course the drum is the opposite way around most conventional balers that we would see. This allows the knife bank to be put in on the top. We can slide the knife bank in and out. Very easy job to change knives, etc., on one of these balers. So this is on your belt baler, so it's starting to get its electrics added at this station. It's starting to come together and reflect what we would know as a baler. Here's a fixed chamber. So we can start to see all our valves, all our pipe work, everything's coming together. Knife bank, knives aren't added yet. Everything that comes together in the makings of the baler. Same again. This is where all the specifications operate and change a little bit for the market that it's going to. So that's it, coming together there. Then if it's a combination baler, it gets wheeled over at this stage and then connected on and added on. You can see all our knives have been added on at this stage. And this is fixed chamber, and again there's no combi on this one. Then as we walk in through this door here, this is a quality control station. So the workers are in here on their own, basically just testing, going through absolutely everything, making sure everything's running up, everything's as it should be. Boy, there's a lot goes on there. As you can see, it's all connected up in the drive, ready to rock and roll, but there's a lot going on. So like, to see the growth that Pöttinger have had in that basically short space of time, a few years, the baler market, I think they're having absolutely fantastic success in a lot of European countries, etc. It's no secret that they have work to do pushing the balers. I mean, UK and Ireland is, without a shadow of a doubt, probably one of the most difficult markets to ever consider trying to crack when it comes to balers. They certainly have that element done when it comes to wagons, and we have seen that with the 7400 that we had a few years ago, absolute animal of a wagon, and now with the 8000 series as well. So would love to, you know, keep looking at wagons and working with them. But as you can see, the cleanliness, the quality, we know about the paint quality of Pöttinger, and that's where I'm going to try and take a wee walk in now. Now the paint line is shut off now for the evening as well, I do believe, which is good actually because it cuts the noise down, but we should have some footage of it working. But it's essentially a shot blast runs through the blaster, comes out, gets dipped. It'll come through the blast. When it heads over here, like this bit here, I know the lights are out in this wee section, but that's okay. it then gets lifted up for the dipping system. So you can see all the tanks. So your points get lifted here, start off here, tank 1, whatever chemicals they use, dip it in, degreases it, comes out into the next tank, different round of chemicals, degreasing again. So you have 3 degreasers, then with 2 washing, there's 14 in total. Then we have some form of charge, positive charge or negative charge, in preparation of the zinc coating. We have our waste tanks here, where it comes out and gets filtered and recycled and all for the initial stages. So like there's some effort in this. Then we are into, call it zinc basin, where they get their zinc coating holes better in the next step. Then it gets zinc coated, it gets washed again a couple of times. Then tank number 12 of 14 is the primer. And then after the primer, it gets 2 more UV washing and then comes out, goes in the oven, gets baked off with a primer on it. As you can see, this is all the mass array of everything that's going on. This is our quality control room. So all your chemicals are tested in here, flat out all the time. How cool. So like this is different level stuff. And then it gets in the oven, then they have to cool it down to somewhere between 60 and 80 degrees before it can get its full powder coat, which is automatic and manual. When you're working with sharp corners, big edges, you have no choice but to have a little bit of human interaction as well to make sure corners and all are done. And then it's baked off for 200 degrees again for 60 to 80 minutes, probably depending on what's what. And that's basically the Pöttinger paint system, described as quick and efficiently and as easy as I know how. The reason they moved the external work that they paint and do to here is essentially because there's more room outside for lorries, etc. That's been blasted, ready to go. You can feel the wee ripple on it, ready to start. It's 14 tank process of dipping, etc. And here we have product that has got its primer coat, ready to rock and roll. And that somehow is going to follow this maze around and then go in through the colour coat. Hangers and everything used. So there's no powder lost, as you can see. Like, this is a big factory of paint lines, etc. in here, and everything is recycle saved. And as you can see, it's not red or yellow. What a process, huh? Shop blasting's fairly standard, but doing it right is a completely different ball game. Obviously, the dipping is taking it to the next level. All the dipping, the 14 different stations, and then primer, bake, cool down, full coat, and job done. That's this department. And when you look up at all of those reels and all of the work and effort, it's fantastic. Next door is basically a small pre-assembly section. So in here, pretty much pre-assembly sections. So they're starting to assemble together for the mergers. To pick up tines, the tedder's putting them, baiting, as we say, baiting them all together, getting good use of the Milwaukee. And you know, whilst this is assembly only, what, 2-3 miles down the road, they have, I suppose, Pöttinger, I would call it Pöttinger HQ. And I think having this facility here is showing Pöttinger's absolute commitment to Austrian manufacturing. But like, I mean, Pöttinger as a company, I think their turnover last year was like 640 odd million euros. So like, they are growing and growing fast, and fair play to the company. It's a company that I do genuinely love working with, right down to the network of how they support their product. You know, we have a great relationship with Pöttinger Ireland. It's a company that I personally have an absolute lot of respect for, and when you come round and look at facilities like this here, how could you not have a smile in your face? 2,200 people owe their living to this company. But anyway, guys, It's been an absolute blast as always getting a look round, left alone to take a wee nosy, and let's see what we can organise for a bit of fun next year. Keep flying the flag for this wonderful company, and I am maybe a little bit biased here, but that's okay, I'm allowed to be. And remember, it's okay to not be okay.